One of the misconceptions is that like when I get that burning in my legs, that's caused by lactic acid. And that's just not the case. So that is caused by changing pH in our muscles such that we get that burning sensation. But that is not caused by lactate. So lactate is a good correlate for fatigue, but it's actually an incredible fuel source. So lactate can be used by nearby muscle fibers. It can be where it's being produced. It can be used by the brain, by the liver, by the kidneys, by the heart. It's a great fuel source.
Mm-hmm.
And so first of all, not a waste product, fuel source.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it actually helps to regulate the hydrogen ions. So hydrogen ions, H+, that's an acid. And so if we accumulate a lot of that in our blood, it begins to change the pH. Not a good thing, right? We can stay alive only in a very narrow range of pH. And so we want that to be regulated in our blood. We want that pH to be regulated in our cells.
Mm-hmm.
But when lactate is pulled into the mitochondria, it's converted back to pyruvate. There is a hydrogen ion created, but that's actually used in the electron transport chain as part of the proton pump.
Yeah.
And so that gets utilized for creating energy.
Yeah.
And so where that acid is coming from, that H+, is from ATP production.
Mm-hmm.
So or from ATP hydrolysis. So when ATP is used, it's converted to ADP, and then an inorganic phosphate and a hydrogen ion.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is if the rate of ATP hydrolysis, right, so basically ATP getting used for energy, outpaces ATP synthesis in the mitochondria, that's when we start to get that H+ accumulating. And what that is basically telling us is that the mitochondria can no longer keep up with the energy demand.
Yeah.
And that's for a range of reasons, right? Either like we don't have, at any level, the exercise is so intense that we can no longer rely on the oxidative system to supply that energy at a rate that allows that hydrogen ions not to accumulate. Right. But what it can also tell us is, do I need to develop more mitochondria, right? So with training, as we push that up, that is an indicator that of a couple things. One is likely we've had an increase in mitochondrial number. We've also had an increase in their efficiency in the production of oxidative enzymes. But we've also gotten better at clearing that lactate out of the cell where it's being produced,
right,
and transporting it to areas that it can be used. So those are different areas like the brain, the liver, et cetera.